We begin, as we always do, with our Newsmaker segment and meet another candidate in the Kansas 3rd District U.S. House race. Joining us today is Amanda Adkins, running on the Republican side. Adkins has served as chair of the Kansas GOP and until recently was an executive at Cerner Corporation. The Kansas 3rd District includes both Johnson and Wyandotte counties and is now represented by first-term Democrat Sharice Davids. Amanda Adkins, welcome to Ruckus. Thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you, Mac. I'm happy to be here with you this morning.
So what caused you to get into this race? Why do you want to be in the U.S. House, an institution that's vilified often by the American public?
Well, first I would just note that I've lived in the Kansas City community for 20 years. And I think that the experiences that I've had, I've really been embedded in the social fabric of the community. As you noted, I've been a 15-year executive at Cerner, so I've done a lot of work in healthcare, largest company here in KC. I've been a long-time political leader. I've been a very active philanthropic leader. So I understand the community and I understand the values of the community. And I watched the returns from the last election cycle. I do absolutely believe that the Democratic Party, that there's a lot of socialist creep there and that Sharice Davids represents that as well. And I just don't think that who she is and what the Democratic Party represents today, that it's a match for what individuals in the 3rd Congressional District believe. So that's why I made a decision to step in.
Not all Republicans believe all the same things. Would you agree? I think you've been very clear. I saw a video of yours on the internet where you said, I'm an unabashed conservative.
I am, and I'll tell you why. And since college, so the 25 years of political leadership goes back to having been the state chair of college Republicans, so a long time ago. It's been a long history. I think that the way that I define being a conservative, it's very, very simple for me. I believe that the individual and the family, that solutions should center on the individual and the family, and the individual and the family should be making decisions, should be in the power seat, so to speak. That stands in significant contrast to what the Democratic Party believes, which is that all solutions should be really centered on the institution of government. So for me, it's as simple as that. And I do think that actually spans a lot of people on the center-right, and the 3rd Congressional District is definitely a center-right district.
You're not the only candidate running, but if you're the nominee, you'll likely run against first-term incumbent Democrat Sharice Davids. What's your critique of her first year?
I think that a lot of people in this community, first of all, I mentioned socialist creep earlier. She has voted consistently with Nancy Pelosi. So in the district, when I'm out talking with folks, oftentimes they will share with me, and I believe this, of course, that she doesn't seem to have vision. She doesn't seem to have a plan, and she oftentimes is not responsive when asked direct questions on issues. I think people deserve better than that. They deserve vision, they deserve a plan, they deserve somebody who's going to represent their interests. And in my case, by virtue of who I am, because I've been a businesswoman, I'm focused on growth opportunity and the vitality of the family. Because of all the work that I've done as a conservative and as a Republican leader, I'm a big believer in accountability to results in public programs. So those are the kinds of things when I'm out in the community, I'm talking about growth, I'm talking about accountability to results, and I'm a mother, so I also talk about the importance of building a successful path for children.
When I watch network television programs that deal with politics, I hear a lot that women in the suburbs won't vote Republican anymore. They hate the Republican Party, and more than that, they hate President Trump. What has been your experience as a woman in the suburbs?
Well, I would say this last election cycle, both in looking at data, but also in talking with women out in the 3rd Congressional District, that professional women and mothers, whether they work inside or outside the home, they did leave the Republican Party. However, this time's very, very different. First of all, I am a professional woman. I am a mother. I am someone who's been an active in philanthropy for at-risk kids and families. So I live the experiences of that.
You don't think they're lost forever?
Absolutely not.
Let me
meaningful engagement.
Quick final question. You have been associated with former Governor and Senator Sam Brownback, either worked for him or with him. Do you think that's a liability in your campaign?
I really don't. I will tell you that the last time that I worked for then Senator Brownback, I ran his U.S. Senate race in 03-04. He, at the time, got the highest number of votes in Kansas history, by the way. And then
I don't think he's ever lost an election, has he?
No. And then I was a partner to him and other Republicans when I was the state party chair, and we won everything, federal, statewide, increased numbers in the legislature. So I think people would look at me and say, in politics, that I've had a great win record.
I have to stop you there. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much for coming in. Come
Really
back and see us.
appreciate it.
All right, you bet. That is Kansas 3rd District GOP candidate Amanda Adkins. Now let's meet the panel and start a ruckus.